everyone, and welcome back to another Train Sim World 3 video. We're back on the Island Line 2020, the one with the old workhorses on the, the class 483. I think it is here, class 483, or as they used to be known as the 1938 tube stock. So we're going to take a run from Shanklin, and we're going to go up to Ryde Pier Head. It's sort of the opposite of what we did for a relatively recent. I need to get the lights on actually. Hold on, nobody go yet. Is there a camera for it? There's not, is there? Okay, well we'll go to the lake, then we'll do it. No, we'll do it now. We can be quick. Let's quickly come in here and get those lights on. Now we can go. Right, set to forward. Oh, let's put that in first. Forward 2. Intro's on. I think we're good to go. It's very weird driving this. We're not going. Have I forgot something? What have I forgot? Have we forgotten something? What are we forgetting? Ah, that's what we're forgetting. That would make perfect sense. Right, let's go. As we make our way out of Shanklin. It feels really weird being back in this train. It's been so long. I don't think we have actually been back to these since the new Island Line came out. Well, last year, so it's been quite some time. Oh, no, I think we have been back, but we're doing it in the a Creators Club livery. Well, which is was a real livery for the old trains. The Island Line. Cool. Let's get going. I did set it to June, but it just feels very... don't know. I mean, it's only, I think, 6 PM in the evening this is setting. It almost feels like it's an autumn evening at 3:30. I don't know, it just doesn't feel very June-like. I suppose it is still quite high up, the sun. Doesn't feel like it though, it feels like it's quite low down already. And we're all stopped as well, so Lake, Sandown, Brading. I'm not actually too sure about Smallbrook Junction, I'll have to double check that. Ryde St John's Road, Ryde Esplanade or Esplanade, and then Ryde Pier Head. So we've got the full lot. Well, if we are stopping at Smallbrook Junction. Yeah, nice chilled out journey on the island, on the old island, the old Isle of Wight. I only went on these trains once, but I remember when I did go on them, they were very bouncy and very rattly. But that was fun. That was sort of part of the experience. So I went on these trains. I can actually remember the exact date. You're really like, how's it now? Do you remember the exact date? But it was Halloween 2014. When I went on one of these, so a few years before they were retired, which I think was about 2 years ago now they were retired. Or was it early? No, it was, I'm pretty certain it was during COVID, or sort of during one of the sort of winter lockdowns. Yeah, I think it was around, I think it was January 2021. I remember watching it on sort of the Ryde rail cam. And sort of the last one was there. And yeah, this is Lake. Our destination is just obviously nowhere. You would sort of think that, yeah, it's sort of the time, destination. It's a bit weird, isn't it? These boards, because I mean, expected, yeah, that's sort of fine. But then for the time, I suppose, yeah, first. But then this sort of comes out under destination. You sort of think they might budge the destination along a little bit, maybe even to the middle. But they don't, even on the real things. So you just look at that and you'd be thinking, time. And apologies to my controller. It keeps like moving. It's quite bad now actually. It sort of tries to move itself forward on its own. Well, the analog stick does it. So you might be able to see that doing that. And we're off. With our little tube train. Let's do Control F2. Try and get a nice-ish screenshot. Or at least a thumbnail one. And it will be Sandown next. That's our next stop. Oh, I didn't check if we were stopping at Smallbrook. I will do that. I'm doing this recording quite late. I don't know, sort of, yeah, as of an evening. I'm recording this quite late, so just thought a bit of Train Sim World. I've been up for it. And I think it's 15 into, was it 10? Is it 15? No, yeah, 15 into this one. I think it's 10 if you're coming the other way. Yeah, present. You get 2 single yellows as well, which is cool. Oh, and this timetable's quite busy. Well, busier. You constantly get 2 trains going backwards and forth. Whereas on the Island Line 2022, it's much quieter. I think it's an hourly service. On here, it's every half an hour. Good question. I wonder if they would actually ever extend the Island Line. I think there's sort of been talks of going down to, is it Ventnor? Yeah, down to Ventnor, but it just hasn't happened. And I've heard, you know, light rail. I suppose that would sort of be like trams. I suppose light rail, on the line. But yeah, nothing's come of that. But I think, yeah, if they did upgrade this line more, raise the speed limit a little bit, because I mean 45 isn't really very attractive. But I reckon if they upgraded it even more, put the speed limit up, then the journey just become, you know, instead of 27 minutes between Shanklin and Ryde, maybe they could become 20. Makes it much more attractive to people, you know, wanting to use the line. And obviously cutting 7 minutes off a journey is quite a difference, but I'm sure if you put the line speed up to a much more ideal speed, I'm sure people would flock to the Island Line. So it's probably actually quicker taking the bus, or at least about the same amount of time. Alright, Braden next. Let's go. So we'll be passing the other train at Ryde St John's. And I suppose the max permitted speed of the 484 is 45 miles per hour. But come on, let's be honest, it can go faster than that quite easily. It shoots up like a rocket. At least on the sim. I don't know about on real life, but I'm assuming so. It would be similar. Let's get that up. I can actually see the last time I played this. If we get up to a good speed, I'll actually see the last time I played this this DLC. It would have been probably quite a while ago. Ooh, I don't know. It's not looking recent. It was. But it's this July the 10th, 2022. What about for live streams? Surely we must have done it as a live before that. I think on one, yeah, we did 2. Yeah, that was July the 20th. Yeah, July the 23rd, 2022 was the last time we did this train. Can't be right. Let me put an Island Line into the search instead. Island Line. Oh, no, that's not how you spell it. Island Line. Sometimes I spell it like that. No, same again. Has it been that long? So yeah, July, basically a year ago when this video is going out is when we last drove this train. So I apologise, it has been quite some time. But I suppose we're back. There you go. Hopefully it won't be as long until we drive it again. Yeah, quite some time. Yeah, so this is the place in real life where the speed limit's actually dropped. Even though the line's been upgraded, the speed limit's dropped. I think it's now 15 in real life. But for us, it's still 20. And it's always weird seeing the station on this version, because in real life and on the more modern version of this route, this is now double tracked. Well, not well. There's a passing loop here, so the other platform is actually back in use. So it feels very weird just seeing it like this on this version. I tend to. There's no stop marker, but I tend to stop towards the end of the canopy. So that's probably a pretty good place to stop. There you go. Right, are we stopping at Smallbrook Junction? We probably want to find out now if we are. We're not. No, we're going straight to Ryde St John's, Esplanade, and then Ryde Pier Head. And that's another change with the more modern Isle of Wight, is that when I think in peak time, some services don't go to Ryde Pier Head because there's no point. So they just go to Ryde Esplanade. So slightly shorter services. It probably also ties in with the ferry as well. Right, let's get going. I mean, realistically, he's going to be going to Ryde Pier Head at, 8:30 in the morning on a Monday. I'm sure people do. I'm pretty certain people probably do commute to the mainland by ferry. I mean, do they? Comment below. Do you know anybody who actually does commute from the Isle of Wight over to, say, Portsmouth on a daily for work? There must be people who do it. Because, you've got the hovercraft and the ferry, so you're sort of set. It'd be very expensive, but I'm sure some people do it. But if you haven't been to the Isle of Wight, highly recommend it. It's just a gorgeous place. Even if you just go for the day, I've done that. But each time I've gone there, I've just gone there for the day. It's beautiful. Especially when you go down to Shanklin. I've got a really distinctive memory from last year's trip when I went to the Isle of Wight. Sort of exploring Shanklin. So I got off the train. It was about, I think we left about 6 in the morning or so. I think it was it was a weekday, but I remember it wasn't I'm pretty certain it wasn't like one of the expensive anytime tickets. I think it was actually like a discount. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it was a cheaper ticket than what it should have been. I don't know how, but it was. And yeah, it was like 6 AM I left. So I got there for about 10ish. Got out of Shanklin station. Sun's blazing. It's beautiful. Walking down Shanklin High Street, going to the shop, getting some pan de chocolats or pretty certain pan de chocolats, like fresh co-op. Is it? I think there's a co-op in Shanklin, and then walking sort of towards the coast. And yes, sort of coming out and just onto this view of just the whole beach from sand down one direction. I suppose the other side of the beach in Shanklin, the other side, It was just beautiful. It's a really, really gorgeous beach at Shanklin and Sandown. And then I remember, yeah, walking along, and then there's some like stairs down, which you sort of take you to past the Shanklin Chine, which again is like another really pretty sort of valley type. Well, it's cool. And then head down onto a sandy beach. Yeah, a few hours were spent at the beach. And then we walked up to Sandown, ran for the train, up to Ryde, explored Ryde for a little bit, and then got the ferry back. I prefer taking the ferry to the Isle of Wight, although that's really, I don't know, probably because that was the first thing, first time I went to the Isle of Wight I took the ferry. I just like because it's much easier as well. As you go from Portsmouth Harbour railway station, it jumps basically straight on the ferry at the end of the platform, takes you over to Ryde Pier Head, back on the train, done. Whereas on the hovercraft you've got to fanny about a little bit, although weirdly the hovercraft's actually cheaper. Yeah, because for the hovercraft you've got to go to Portsmouth and Southsea, then you've got to get either a bus or walk for about sort of 15 minutes down to Southsea Hoverport, and then from there you then take the hovercraft to Ryde Esplanade, sort of the beach there, and then you've got to walk out of there over the railway bridge and then round back into the station. So much easier going by ferry. But for some reason, whenever you want to try and buy a ticket for the ferry through because your train ticket also allows hovercraft travel, ferry travel, you sort of get a choice. But on National Rail Inquiries, it doesn't seem to show the ferry anymore. So I don't know if that's, maybe they're not sort of partnered up now. Don't know. Yeah, if you live within, if you can get, basically if you live anywhere in the southeast or southwest and you can reach the Isle of Wight within 3 hours or so, get up early one morning and go to the island. Just don't have a plan. Well, your plan should be just getting back at a certain time. Just go to the Isle of Wight, go on the train, go for a walk. Just it's great. I feel like I've turned into the Isle of Wight tourism board here. I think in the last episode I was like, go to the Isle of Wight. Isle of Wight tourism board, sign me up. And to Ryde St John's, which is sort of the main operational place on the line. You've got the most action going on here. You've got the depot, 3 platforms. Well, I suppose the third one's not particularly used very much. Sort of just, well, it is part of the town, but I suppose just south of the town. I'd say probably the busiest station is probably Ryde Esplanade. Probably Ryde Esplanade. That's probably the busiest station, especially as now quite a lot of services actually do terminate at Ryde Esplanade instead of Pier Head. I suppose Ryde Esplanade's probably busy all year round, whereas Ryde Pier Head, you're not really going to get many holiday makers going to the Isle of Wight in winter. That's probably a lot quieter. That's probably more sort of a seasonal busyness. And Sandown. I remember that was quite busy. I always thought that Sandown's probably actually busier than Shanklin. Sandown's quite a considerably large place, and the station's sort of within a very residential area. Whereas Shanklin, it was sort of more on the well, more at sort of the top end of the high street. Right. So again, Shanklin's probably more of a sort of seasonal busyness in the summer. And we're off. It's quite slow as well. But no, it's been fun. So thanks everyone for coming in. If you have made it this far, it's just been nice. Yeah, doing some. Well, as of recording this, it is about 11 p.m. But it's just been fun, sort of getting on trains some out. This, with nothing to do. It's warm out there, so just to get on and play a bit of trains and record a video. Oh, there's the Network Southeast 483. It looks horrible. The Network Southeast livery does look good on a lot of trains, but on that train, no. I think one of the best looking trains in Network Southeast livery is the 319 looks good and the 442 looks good. It's a tough one. But most sort of mainland trains look good in Network Southeast livery. Tough one. And into Ryde Tunnel. Dark and scary. Oh look, we're outside. So it does look like a very narrow tunnel, but it's only really the portals. And then sort of another sort of 10-20 metres in, it then just opens up into almost like a big sort of... I'm trying to think of the word. Can't think of the word, but just sort of a big open area, sort of in the middle. Not Colosseum. Colosseum, what am I on about? Yeah, just a big open area in the middle. Now you can see sort of there's the other track, and the other track say goodbye, and it sort of goes like this again. And it's up into Ryde Esplanade. One thing I would like to see of this train is changing the destination board, which I suppose actually probably do very. What's it say on the back? Ryde Pier Head. On the front says Ryde Pier Head. Yeah, it would be nice to sort of be able to change it manually. Even though probably in real life they probably kept this end as Ryde Pier Head and the other end as Shanklin. Yeah, it would be nice to be able to change it manually. And probably the most gorgeous part of the route, the pier. Look at that. It's just so good looking. Although not as good looking as the Island Line 2022. We've actually got hovercrafts there on sort of the hoverport. Basically a hoverport is just a beach. Yeah, there's much more going on the Island Line 2022, and scenery is extremely better. There's Ryde. Is it? No, it's this one here, isn't it? Yeah, it's that one there. That's Ryde High Street. Oh, they just drifted round the corner. They did as well. Right, let's get the door shut. And the next station stop will be Ryde Pier Head. All change. It would also be nice to see the mainland as well, because yeah, even on same, I think, no, on the Island Line 2022, I think you can see the mainland, but on this one you can't. It sort of feels like we're on some sort of tropical island. Hang on, no, can you see the mainland on this one now? I think you, possibly. Because otherwise it just feels like you're on like a deserted island in the middle of the Atlantic or something. Which would be pretty cool if it was. but of course it's not. It is the Isle of Wight. It's only a few miles across from Portsmouth. So even just seeing the Spinnaker Tower would be nice, which you can very easily see from here. And on the new version, you've got boats and stuff sort of hanging about. As on here, it's just dead, completely lifeless. And here we are. This is Ryde Pier Head. Journey's End. Very cool station. Well, it would have been cool to see a scenario where it actually took you on the other line. That would have been cool. And yeah, you can see it is sort of activated on there. That would have been a cool scenario. I'd been able to run on the disused line. Disused conundrum, something like that. But then when it then goes on there. Cool, and then yeah, you then get off here, through here, and then yeah, over to the ferry. Now you can see land, yeah, and it's about, well, just about, and it's about 20 minutes on the boat over to Portsmouth. And then you hop on a big train there. But yeah, that is going to be it, everyone, for this Train Sim World video. That was another enjoyable one to record. Links can be found in the usual places: Discord, PayPal, merch store. Apart from that, have a lovely rest of your day, and I hope we'll see you in the next one. See you all. Take care. Bye, guys.